Excellency said, may we now call upon you to address us and officially launch our Zimbabwe African Women Leaders Network chapter. Your Excellency, sir.
Pray be seated. Our Director of Ceremonies, Dr. Rosanne Kuben, the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises, Dr. Stemsonyoni, other Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State who are present, the United Nations Women Regional Director for East and Southern Africa, Ms. Zeb Kabuma, the representative of the African Union Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security, the United Nations resident coordinators, and the country representatives here present, the Africa Women Leaders Network Zimbabwe chapter, founding members who are here, women leaders from civil society, women leaders from academia, development partners, members of the diplomatic corps who may be here. May I say, before I make my statement, that Honorable Kupe says it's true that you're about 52%, but that you contribute 80% of GDP. Oh, that's Professor Nule. That one. But indeed, you have a point. I'm here. The rest of the morning, I was at a forum where we had the first Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, a woman, Excellency Amina Mohammed. And the number two were also Vera Songa, the Executive Secretary and the Under Secretary of the United Nations. And also the outgoing chairperson from Morocco was a woman. Then I come here, it's all women. I was wondering whether my colleagues are going to see Dr. Shah here and the other minister from another organization. It's very, very pleasing that the women are occupying their space. It is my singular honor and privilege to join you today to launch the Zimbabwe chapter of the African Women Leaders Network, running under the theme Peace and the Social Cohesion for Zimbabwe's Sustainable Development. The network brings together African leaders from various sectors, including government, business, civil society, and academia. with the aim of enhancing the leadership of women towards the realization of Africa's Agenda 2023 and the Sustainable Development Goals. I want to commend all the women leaders who participated in the global conceptualization of the network and thereafter brought the concept back home to assist other women leaders to effectively engage in the country's development agenda. I'm advised that the Africa Women Leaders Network was launched in New York in 2017 as an action-oriented initiative that seeks to enhance the leadership of women, African women in particular, in bringing transformative changes focusing on peace, security, and development on the continent. The network further offers the opportunity for women leaders to create a national platform for coordinated efforts for the development of our country. The launch of this African Women Leaders Network, the Zimbabwe chapter, is therefore welcome and the most opportune at this time of our development. When I say to Minister Mfangu, what's happening here now? She says, the President aligned with us. She didn't complete the sentence. I'm sure she said, aligned with us for survival. I exhort you to ensure that this platform provides a coordinated plan for women leaders in Africa to exchange experiences and expertise with their sisters on the continent to help inform our own national development discourse. It is my hope that the African Women Leaders Network in Zimbabwe will also provide an important pathway to accelerate the ongoing efforts to improve the quality of life of our people in line with our national vision 2030 as well as the Agenda 2063. In doing so, the African Women Leadership Network must vigorously empower rural women, mentor young women, and seek the attainment of gender equality as well as inclusion of women in all sectors of the economy. No one should be left behind as we strive to achieve the Africa we all want. This chapter must equally be used to help in the realization of Section 80 of our national constitution, which emphasizes the women's right to equal opportunities. You said our 10 provinces, the women 5 men. I did that purposely. I want to see the 5 ladies competing with the 5 men. And there is which I introduced to the provinces and see whether the economies of this province will grow faster when there's a woman. These social prerequisites for the fulfillment of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Consequently, women's engagement leadership are indispensable ingredients for stability and sustainable development. Empirical evidence indicates that the participation of women in peace building more on reconciliation, economic development, education, and justice. In this regard, the inclusion of women must continue to be encouraged from the family and community to the national level. While women in Zimbabwe and other African countries may face challenges that limit them from effectively participating in the economic, social, and political spheres, I am confident that this new national challenge will generate greater technical and financial support for women's leadership and other women in general. I encourage you as women to stimulate development and take positions towards the achievement of our national vision 2030. As mothers, sisters, daughters, you are the beacon of morality. You are the beacon of integrity and virtuous living. Our depends on to foster and engender our value systems as epitomized of Ubuntu. As African governments, we must accelerate the facilitate empowerment and inclusion of women across all sectors of our economies. We must all do our part to break the glass ceiling and open doors of opportunities. There is nothing that limits women from playing any position in any sector of our society. I call upon the Zimbabwe chapter to bring to fruition the ongoing efforts to implement objectives and goals of the network, which aims to positively impact the lives of ordinary women and girls in our country. I also encourage you to identify needs and mobilize resources for the chapter to enable you to fulfill your mandate. Furthermore, I exhort you to bridge the generation gap through the mentorship of young women. The year 2020 marks the 25th anniversary of the World Conference on Women held in Beijing and its platform for action. Our young generation in Africa must experience a world of equality by leveraging the youth demographic dividend and Africa's vast natural resources. As women leaders, I urge you to speak with one voice. With one voice, as you push your agenda forward through platforms such as this one. Remember, united you shall stand and prosper. Divided you shall fall and fail. With these remarks, I officially launch the African Women Leaders Network Zimbabwe chapter. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe.
I'll request, Your Excellency, that you walk down and unveil that flag as a symbol of officially launching our network. very much. The African Women Leaders Network is officially launched. I would like to take this opportunity to call upon the Minister of Information to give us a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Some people call them EDs now. But thank you very much, Dr. Fakazani Kobe. The guest of honor, Your Excellency, President E.D. Mnangagwa, Dr. Stanley Sonyoni, Minister of Human Affairs, Community Small and Medium Enterprises, and also the chair of this African Women Leaders Network group. I want to honor all ministers who are here. Minister of State of Matabele North Province, Honorable Moyo, we are here, you are our host, thank you. And all the other 9 ministers of state from our 9 provinces, we are very happy that you are here. Permanent secretaries and senior government officials, the UN Women Regional Director for East and Southern Africa, Madam Zebib Kapuma, we are very delighted you are here. Miss Margaret Mukana Nasangagwe, Chairperson of the Zimbabwe Gender Commission, Miss Lillian Tugedere, Deputy Chairperson of the National Peace and Reconciliation Commission, and representatives of the President of the Senate, and also members of Parliament who are here, the representatives of the African Union Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security, our dear sister, Nyarazai Kumbondanda. She's such a source of pride when she's at the UN. I want to say Zimbabwe, we are proud to have you as the IU Google Ambassador. The UN resident coordinators and country representatives who are here, and African women leaders of this network chapter, which is being launched today. The founding members are here. Women leaders from civic society, women leaders from academia, young women who take up and move forward. I always say we are getting there, and we need young people to continue taking the legacy from us. Development partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, today is truly a dream come true. As one of those who attended the inaugural global meeting in 2017, where the African Women's Leadership Network was launched, it just gives me so much great pleasure to witness and be part of this launch, and to have this honor to give a word of thanks to Your Excellency. Your Excellency, President E.D. Mnangagwa, thank you for demonstrating your commitment to create an enabling environment for women so that they meaningfully participate in shaping sustainable development in Zimbabwe. A commitment which is deep within our Zimbabwe Constitution. And you, as the President of the Second Republic, you have left no stone unturned to make sure that we are there to that Constitution. Thank you, Your Excellency. This has been clearly demonstrated by your prioritization of this launch among countless agendas that equally demand your presence. We have heard you, Your Excellency, as this chapter is being launched, that you have told the chapter to empower rural women. There we go, women. To continue to seek attainment of gender equality, and to mentor young women. He said to bridge that generation gap. So we want to be found to be continuing mentoring young kids. Peace building, national reconciliation. I always say, Your Excellency, women, this is an instinct, they are born with it. If you give a man 5 kg stone and say move around with it the whole day, just one day they may not be able to do it. But your women, Your Excellency, your mothers, they have carried babies for 9 months. They go to work and they excel in that condition. They are given a baby, sometimes 2 kgs, and they're supposed to nurture that little baby to be a big man, a big man. So we are blessed with that kind of patience. We can build that peace which is needed, we can build that national reconciliation. Together, we can move so that we attain the economic development which we need as a country. We will certainly, you have been told by our Excellency, that we need to generate technical support for women leaders. And we know those women in the rural areas. We are talking about not leaving anybody behind. And we are saying that's the task at hand. As mothers and daughters, we've been told that we are the beacon of morality and integrity. So let's continue to teach and engender those values to our people so that we move as a country to a country, Zimbabwe, which we all want. We've also been told that don't be afraid of breaking the glass ceiling, so that you can occupy that position. Thank you, Your Excellency. And as women leaders, we will certainly will be able to speak with one voice. And thank you. We shall remain united so that we stand. We don't want to fall. I also would like to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, allow me to express deep appreciation to my co-founder members for bringing this African Women Leadership Network home. We are proud as a country to be the third in the whole of Africa to launch this group, and certainly work hard to make sure that we get to where we want it to go. We value the strategic collaboration with the African Union, the United Nations, and the women of this continent who are all represented here. Nobody should be left behind. The presence of all of you eminent leaders across various sectors bears testimony of your readiness to join the movement launched here today. Let's move on. We've been told by His Excellency that we have all his support. I also want to thank many Zimbabweans who have worked behind the scene and in various capacities for us to realize this launch and our network. I acknowledge our media who have come here today to be able to communicate the news to those who have not made it here today. And thank you, Your Excellency, for appointing me as the Minister of Information and Broadcasting. The issues of women empowerment are very close to my heart, and will certainly use my soft power to make sure that those issues are clearly articulated in our newspapers. The media is certainly our partner for the decade of action. What you choose to focus on during this decade will advance or regress our shared aspiration of a more equal and inclusive country. I therefore thank you for your commitment in promoting peace and social cohesion through your responsible reporting. And I'm talking to the media. Thank you for your responsible reporting, which will promote cohesion. The message we should go out there should unite the people of this country. The message which you report about women should make women united so that this country move forward. Last but not least, we appreciate our development partners who have made this launch possible and have pledged to continue to nurture this movement to its full maturity. I'm sure more will be coming alongside UN Women and UNDP to make this a reality. Allow me, lastly, to acknowledge all of you through this token of appreciation that we, the founding members of African Women Leadership Network in Zimbabwe, would like to present to His Excellency. Our gift, Your Excellency, will serve to remind you. This gift will serve to remind you of the diverse, competent women of this nation who stand ready to support nation building, economic recovery. No one should be left behind, so all of them should be ready. These are the women, these are the competent women of Zimbabwe, Your Excellency, who stand to support nation building, economic recovery, peace and social cohesion. I want to thank you for enabling this to happen. Thank you once again, everyone.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. This marks the end of our session, but before we leave, I would request His Excellency for a photo shoot with the core group members. Then after that, we can dance and celebrate, and thank you very much.